plays Minecraft, and in today's episode we're going to be working on a cow and sheep farm, I'm hoping. So as you can see, I've already started to work on a cow farm here, and I'll explain that in a minute. But before we do that, I think we should take a look at the chicken farm from the last episode. I have been just around the world here doing things, and I AFK'd overnight at this twice, and this is the haul. So we're doing pretty good. Pretty happy with the feathers and the chicken haul. I'm probably gonna think about switching to cooked chicken as my permanent food source pretty soon here. So how much do we even have? Let me empty my inventory a little second here. From all this stuff, and let's see how many we have. Take that cooked chicken too. There's one on the floor there. Sometimes they glitch out and they don't get picked up by the hopper, but that's sort of a very, very minor thing. And that occurs with all of these designs, so I can't really solve that too well. So how much chicken did we end up with, all told here? Let's pick all of this up. Wow. It looks like less chicken when you put it in the chest spaced out like that. It looks less than what it is. So the question is now, do I want to run this down to the chest, or do I want to leave it up here for now that I've organized it? I think I'm going to leave it up here for now. What I would like to do though is sort of, if I can, put these back in. Move these feathers here a little bit like that, and then get all the feathers out and put all the feathers back in. See how many feathers we have. That's a lot of feathers. I'm impressed with that. I'm really happy with the chicken farm, considering that I've only AFK'd overnight twice at it, and we already have such a lot of food. That is a lot of food. Normally, 4 or so stacks of baked potatoes might last me 2 or 3 days, and I have probably a week's worth of food right here, in-game. So, I'm pretty happy with that, all told. So, now that we've seen that, oh, by the way, I will show you the slightly improved redstone here. I just put half slabs down, did my usual, cleaned up the walls and that kind of thing. So this is what that looks like now. I'm not sure how much of this was done last episode, but we have a door and all that sort of stuff has been done. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then we have the start of a cow farm here. So the cow farm is also my own design, but I was having some trouble putting it together, and I thought it will probably be easier for me to start the episode and then show you what I have been doing, rather than for me to try and build it from memory, as it was really difficult. So I've gone ahead and done that. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how this thing works as well. So I'm going to need some wheat for that. Unlike the chicken farm over there, there's no way I can fully automate this. Like, this can be fully automated using an egg and a dispenser. For me, I can't fully automate this cow farm, because you need to breed the cows with wheat, and even though you can put wheat in a dispenser, it won't do anything. It won't breed any cows, so I can't fully automate this. So what I have here is I have a sort of a 1x1x4 or whatever it is area for the cows, and these are our batch cows. And then we breed the cows and we put them in water, and that also lifts up a piston that lets the water flow over here, and any baby cows get pushed down into this area. And what we have here is we have a standard lava blade dispenser. I've used this in other parts of my world, particularly the zombie grinder. I used it a lot there. So it's the same model as that. And underneath that carpet is a hopper that just leads into this chest here, and that's where the loot is collected. So what we do is we breed the cows until we get a decent amount of them. Then we breed them with the water on here and the piston up. And then any baby cows will go down here, grow up, hit that button, kills them, get the loot. Simple as that, really. So let's take a look at the redstone, actually. We have some redstone up here. This is obviously the lava blade that I talked about. But up here, this is the other redstone. So we have a redstone down there. This activates the water when the button is pushed. You have to push the button again for the water to turn off. And then we have sort of a staircase here of redstone that leads around to this. And this is a T flip-flop. And what happens here is when I push the button, it turns off this torch, which retracts the piston. And then when I push the button again to turn the water off, it puts the piston back down, stopping the water flow. And also to stop any cows from escaping. That's what that's for. And pretty simple stuff, really. Pretty simple redstone. I'm pretty happy with how compact it turned out. So, why don't we take a look at this thing in action. Now, normally, I would have more cows than this. But I haven't started breeding them yet because I wanted to show you some of it done before I completely just go ahead and do everything. So, you push that. The cows start bouncing up and down. I have a sign there just so that water doesn't spill everywhere. And also so it doesn't drown any baby cows. I breed the cows just by using the wheat like so. They breed, we get a baby cow, and he goes down there. Pretty simple principle. I'm done breeding the cows now, so I can push that. Closes down the piston again. And the baby cow is there. And we'll just wait for him to grow up, whenever that will be, in 10 minutes or so. And then I would be able to use the lava blade. If I try using the lava blade now, he's not tall enough. So if there is a mixture of adult cows and baby cows in there, say I forgot to kill them and bred them again, I could still kill them and it wouldn't be a big deal. The babies would still live. So just got a little trapdoor here so I can walk over the chest. Simple as that, really. Nothing too complicated. And I'm really happy with the way this turned out. As I say, this is my own design, but when I say it's my own design, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if this has already been done by someone, because there's so many different designs for these type of things out here now. I could understand that. It's probably not a revolution by any stretch. So, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. The next thing to do is going to be to breed the cows up regularly. And the reason I have this so low down is because the river's right there. And I don't want to try and build into the river. It just makes sense to go down and have a ladder. To me, at least. So, that's why that is. So all I'm doing now is kind of tidying up the room, really. And we've got a little bit of decorative work to do before we can consider this 100% complete. So I am going to need some clay. Figured we could do at least some stuff together, huh? So, let's see. Brown stained clay will come all the way along here. This is probably going to be a wall right there. So let's sort of finish this off here. I think the brown and the white goes pretty well together, and it reminds me a lot of the cows. I don't really want to use wool for this area particularly, so I think clay is the next best thing. And while we're doing this, I'll also explain what I have plans of doing in today's episode as well. So what I would also like to do is I would like to today start work on a sheep farm. And I have a sort of a design in mind for that. I thought long and hard about how I wanted to make the sheep farm. And actually the sheep farm, I'm going to make a big room with grass in it and then dye the sheep whatever color I need them. I was thinking about making 16 separate pens for all the wool colors, but it makes sense to have one large batch of sheep that I can just dye over 16 batches of small sheep and not really enough wool to really do anything with. So I'm thinking that that may be the better way to go for wool. So what are we missing here? We still do need to put in some proper lighting. That's kind of a big problem, actually. Gonna fill this in with cobblestone. I'm trying to save the clay that I have because I don't have a ton of it lying around to be used. There is the door here that we're going to have to integrate at some point. We're going to have pressure plates and then the actual door and then more pressure plates. So the actual wall is going to end up here in the end. That's going to leave me with a little bit of room here. I might go one further over and put some iron bars down. Like that. Obviously not here, but I I'm actually going to put in the wall now, I think, so that I have a guideline a little bit more of what it's going to look like. There we go. So we kind of have a little bit more of a clear guideline now. Do I have any more clay? I do. Can make some more brown. Might have to farm some cocoa beans to get a little bit more brown dye here, but that's not a problem. I have plenty of bone meal now, so getting a bunch of cocoa beans is not going to be a problem. So let's seal that up. Yeah, okay. Beginning to look a little bit better here. Let's make ourselves some iron bars. Should have built that chicken farm near my iron golem farm. That would have been really useful. Where I do all my other AFKing. Now, the question remains of where I want to put the ladder. If I'm going to have a ladder. Might want to put a staircase in here. That might be a good idea. No, actually, because if I did a staircase, I wouldn't be able to... I don't have any stairs of this type, so... because they don't exist in the game. I don't have any sort of clay steps, so it might look kind of ugly. So I'm thinking doing something like that may be the better way to go. Let's see here then, we want to... don't want to use that clay, no, no, no. We want to use... white stained clay. And we'll have some more brown over here. Place that with brown. Oh my. I apologise if I sound a little sniffly today. Not having the best of luck with that. What do we got now? Does that look better? I think so. This kind of looks a bit weird here, but I think it's okay. Want some white for there. This is our wall again here. So I could probably fill that in like so. Just have a little access hatch to there. Kind of got the room sort of covered now. And then this is our redstone right in here, which I'll cover up with half slabs here shortly. I also need to expand this wall, which is probably not going to be the most pleasant of tasks, but has to be done, so I'm probably going to do that. I'm going to need some redstone again for sure. I'm actually going to breed the cows again now and get a third one. I think 5 minutes is up. You can breed these animals every 5 minutes, so... can I not reach you guys from here? That could be a problem. I do have this. I bred one of them. That could be an issue. I really need the water to be on, so I'm probably going to have to disable the piston for a second and leave it down. So I'm going to do that for a little while at least, until I get my ideal amount of cows. That's probably going to be, I don't know, 40 cows probably in there, so that I get 20 every batch maybe. I need that to be activated still, so I need a torch for that, which I don't have right now, but I do have in a box, so let's go grab a redstone torch. So, let's climb back up again. Be careful not to break any redstone in the process. So, where would be a good place to power that? Not around the corner, because that's going to do the same thing. Right there, maybe. So that'll do for now. That'll stay powered even when I push the water, right? Yeah. That works a treat. Now we can actually use the wheat. Oops. There we go. Now they've got a baby cow that's not going anywhere, which is exactly what I want. He's glitching a little bit, but that's okay. They'll sort themselves out in time. Definitely... Whoa, what am I doing here? Definitely want to... Using the wrong pick, too. Just all over the place right now. Definitely want to replace that wall. Probably the ceilings are going to be the next thing to come down and be replaced. This room's looking pretty much done here. Might want a little bit of storage somewhere. Possibly maybe over here. Have a little storage set up just so that I can deposit stuff, maybe. Although we do have the chest down there, so... Oh, I need a chest for wheat. That's what I'm thinking of. I need a chest for that. So, let's make a chest for wheat. See if we can integrate that somewhere nicely. Probably right in here, actually, would do quite nicely. Do I have any white stained clay left? Yeah. So I can put some wheat up in here, so I can breed the cows. Might have a lamp back there, maybe. So we're still going to need the door. That's probably going to be the next thing to do. And dealing with back here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to work for a little bit off camera and kind of get that wall expanded, get the half slabs down, and sort of move everything in place, and then we'll probably take a look at the finished product. So I will be back soon. Alright guys, so I've been working for a little bit of time now on various different projects following on from the cow farm, and we're gonna continue on here. But before we do that, I wanted to show you the improved haul of feathers. That's a lot of feathers. A lot of cooked chicken now. This is probably going to be my main food source for quite some time. Probably the remainder of time that we are here at the lab, honestly. So if I ever need more arrows, I'm going to have them. Though I left my dark room on overnight while I was AFKing at the chicken farm once again. And I got more arrows and more gunpowder and more bones and more rotten flesh. We're almost up to a double chest of basically everything that we're going to get. A few more ender pearls, not too many more, but it's always nice to have a few. So, at this point, I think what I would like to do now is actually finish off showing you the cow farm, and then start to think about building the sheep farm, which is the next thing to do. I'm going to bring some wheat because I'm running low, and I want to breed the cows some more. What is that pick? Fortune? I might need that. So... the main thing I want to think about now is probably leather and beef for a while. I actually have a lot of beef, but I certainly want a lot more leather than I currently have. I've been using leather a lot lately for item frames and that kind of thing. But I think as far as food goes, we've sort of addressed that problem permanently now with the chicken farm. Lots and lots of cooked chicken, and lots of feathers if I ever need to make arrows at any given point. I'm okay at the moment because obviously I have my infinity bow, but you never know if I want to. Or equally, actually, thinking about it, you can make fireworks with feathers, I believe. So if we want to make any fireworks, that might also be a good use for that. So what do we got here? We've got our box of supplies. I did a bunch of work in here. I sort of made a tunnel. We're going to build the sheep farm down here. We were kind of running out of room, but I still wanted to use the same area, so I just went ahead and carved this tunnel and made it partially glass, so you can kind of see up and through into the river. I think it looks pretty cool. Through here is still the chicken farm. A few more. I just recently emptied this. It's doing pretty good now. Probably one thing I might start and do soon is actually collect some eggs and start filling up the egg chest downstairs with those, as we don't really have any eggs at the moment, so it might be nice to have some of them. Baby zombie, where are you at, baby zombie? I think he's up there somewhere. Don't need you on the wall anymore. Oh wait, actually I do need you. I want to put a redstone lamp there at some point. I won't be able to put any redstone lamps through here, but we'll resume them again on this side, and hopefully it won't be a big deal. Mobs won't spawn here because it's glass, but it just kind of looks a bit dim, and I'm not too keen on that. But it is what it is. So, through here is our cow farm. I've been breeding the cows a couple of times. The guy that we bred earlier is actually fully grown now, so I can actually show you how this works. And there's a few things in there that I put in there. But this is how we kill the cow here. It's a small lava blade as we've shown off. Might have to push it twice. There we go. It's really hard to get the timing right on that. Might tweak it a little bit. We got some steak out of that guy, and it's got into the chest there. So we do have a lot of cows here, which we can breed again. I'm trying to get a decent volume of cows. I don't know how many exactly we've got. There's certainly not 61, that's for sure. I'd say there's probably maybe 20 or so in there. One thing I might change about this design is the button down here is kind of in an inconvenient location, honestly, to really make best use of the cows. So, well, the water feature, I guess. So I might move the button upstairs, possibly. Maybe right here or right there, possibly. It might make better sense. We'll see. Let's breed the cows again. Certainly doing us good on that front. Probably 1 or 2 more breeding sessions, and we'll probably be ready to start and use this because I'll have enough batch cows. Hopefully, that's the plan at least. So bred them again. We'll let those guys grow up. I'll turn the water off. Here we go. Getting a lot of cows in there. Pretty happy with that. So now, oh, by the way, I did repair my pick again, as you see. So now I'm going to think about the sheep farm. So I kind of have a rough idea with what I want to do with that, but not really fleshed out. This is just my little waste station here that I had to set up. I was doing some smelting of glass, and I figured instead of going all the way back and forth, just bring some furnaces that I already have crafted over here and use them. I don't think there's anything I need in there right now. So I kind of want to go a little bit further through here. Oh, and out goes the lights. Because I want to get away from that river if I can. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 5. Probably start it maybe right here. Probably put a little room out here, which will be our little waste station for right now, along with probably our main room where all of our equipment is going to be stored for the sheep farm and that kind of thing. I'm thinking what I would like to do is have a big circular room. There we go. So what are we up to here? 5 by 4. Well, we can make it 5 by 5. I'm sure of that. I have my silk touch on me right now, so I'll silk touch this coal, I guess. So this will just serve as a little room for right now. But through there, yeah, that is 5 by 5. It just looks a little weird, I guess, because of this, maybe. So what I would like to do is go through this wall, probably punch through, and make a 3 by 3 door again. And then sort of have a big circular room, and the door comes out on sort of a raised ring of glass, and then below that ring of glass is the grass. How would I get into it? I guess ladders, maybe? I could have some ladders kind of together on each side, possibly. And then that goes down to the actual sheep pen area. And then have a load of sheep at the bottom that I can go around and shear. Now, I am going to need a few things as far as features go for this. Obviously, we're going to want to have a place to put the wool down that can sort of be integrated into the storage system. I was thinking about putting a minecart hopper in that goes around and collects up all the wool, but honestly, that would mean that my inventory would have to be full all the time before using it, and I don't know as I want to go to that effort all the time. So I'm thinking it's probably just going to be easier just to have inventory room. I pick up the wool and then put it in a chest, which goes down a hopper chain, and then it sorts it for me in the storage system. And more often than not, when I need wool, I go for it to use it rather than go for it and put it away in a chest, like I do some other supplies. For example, the chicken farm here, I want it running and the supplies go into a chest because I don't need tons and tons of food or feathers all the time, but it's nice to have. With wool, generally, I need it when I get it. I use it for a project pretty much immediately. I don't spend a lot of time farming wool for various other things. Hello, Squiddy. So, I think that might be the better way to go. Now, the size of the room kind of remains to be seen a little bit at the moment. But if I go down in the world, that's definitely going to be better than going up. So, what I think I would like to do now is kind of extend this corridor again a little bit here. Hey, there's some iron. I have tons of coal at this point. I'm not too worried about mining this part of it with my regular pick. I'll come back in with either Silk Touch or Fortune later. So that gives us enough room to kind of have a door in here, and then we can kind of come out here and start and build that big circular room. Now, that's going to be kind of tricky to do. I'm going to need to look at a chart of circles. I can't build them to save my life. Particularly underground, above all else. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and carve out that room and get a basic design together, and then probably what we'll do is we'll resume and we'll set up some of the more clear redstone for one, and also maybe some finishing touches, some decoration, that kind of thing we could work on afterwards. I kind of just want to get a basic design up and ready to go, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I will be back in a little bit.